We've got a smell and a large black bag that has been hidden here.
On October 8, 2011, 19-year-old Carina Saunders went missing in the small town of Bethany, Oklahoma. Kidnapped, abused, with her hands and feet missing, her body was discovered in bags behind a local grocery store 5 days later. The killer even tried to remove the tattoo on her back to hinder her identification. With little to no evidence pointing to who did this, police began questioning potential suspects. Subsequently, detectives uncovered a dark web of secrets surrounding Carina Saunders' murder. These secrets would reveal one of the most tragic and gruesome stories Oklahoma has ever seen.
I think that getting too close definitely jeopardizes your life.
Shut your mouth and mind your business.
The less that I knew, the better off I was. I want the answers, but not at the cost of somebody else's life.
Carina Brianne Saunders was born on July 17, 1992, to Margie Queen and Richard Saunders in the heart of Oklahoma City. Carina was a standout at her high school, recognized for her exceptional skills in math and singing. She rocked the honors choir and aced mathlete competitions. In 2010, Carina graduated a year ahead and left her parents' place. However, this was when things started to fall apart. In 2011, Carina found herself battling substance abuse, trapped in the grip of illegal narcotics. Determined to turn her life around, she went to rehab that summer. After her release, she seemed to be doing much better than before. On the 18th of September, 19-year-old Carina surprised her mom with a visit. They shared moments enjoying each other's company and attending church together. It was an uncommon occurrence, particularly since they now lived in different places. Later on that very day, September 18, 2011, Carina bid farewell to her mother. After she left, Carina needed a place to crash. That day, she came to her cousin Catherine's house. This would be her home for some time. Catherine emphasized that their bond felt more like sisterhood than mere cousinhood. They considered each other the ultimate besties. Just over a week to September 28, 2011, Carina made her final social media post. In a seemingly innocent Facebook update, she casually asked, "What's everybody doing tonight?" Little did anyone know, this would be the end of Carina's online presence. That day, Carina and her cousin headed to Taco Bell near the intersection on Rockwell Avenue, just off Interstate 40. Even though they came to Taco Bell as a pair, Carina and Catherine weren't leaving together. Catherine witnessed her cousin hopping into a blue or gray mid-1990s Chevrolet Blazer with 22-inch rims. The person behind the wheel turned out to be Kenny Richards, a 44-year-old figure Carina had talked about with friends and family. Carina believed he was just a friend, unaware of his hidden intentions to involve her in amateur adult content. Among those close to her, suspicions arose. They thought of Kenny as more of a pimp than a supportive figure. Some even accused him of trying to push her into prostitution. Over a week later, after Carina's cousin last saw her, an old high school buddy, Keegan, had a surprising encounter. Keegan, residing at Studio 41 apartments, recounted seeing Carina around October 6th or 7th. There she was, busy sweeping gravel off a staircase, and he warmly greeted her.
"Hey, Keegan, how you been?" And I didn't recognize her right away, but as soon as I turned and saw that big old smile of hers, it clicked. And we sat and chatted in the courtyard, and she seemed a little guarded at the time, a little to divulge too much about her life. I don't think she was around the right people at the time, but something wasn't right.
The next time he saw her, it would be in the news report. Although Keegan's timeline lacks precision, it's acknowledged that Carina was alive until Saturday, the 8th of October. This crucial day was marked by CCTV footage capturing Carina outside the Newcastle Casino and Gaming Center, situated approximately 20 miles from Bethany. In the footage, Carina hops into a red truck, a big Ford pickup with 4 doors, a brush guard, and top lights. It seems like a bunch of guys were in the truck, but only one can be described. A dude with both arms covered in tattoos who stepped out. In the video, there is also a dark car nearby. Inside, there are some young women, desperately trying to stop Carina from jumping into the pickup truck. Until now, the identities of these men weren't discovered. The identities of women in the car also remain a mystery. The next day, on October 9th, Catherine gets a scary text from an unknown number. It's about her cousin, who she hasn't heard from since they last met. The message reads, "I'm going to bury you next to Carina." Feeling disturbed and anxious, Catherine rushes to the Oklahoma City police, desperate for help. The person behind it all turned out to be Kyle Savage, a friend of Karina's for more than 2 years. The police cracked the case by digging into phone records and conducting interrogations, revealing a series of texts exchanged between Kyle and Karina in the weeks leading up to her disappearance. Despite the damning evidence and a threatening message sent to Catherine, Savage insisted he never harmed Karina. When the news of Karina's situation broke, he chalked up his message as a misunderstanding and poorly timed communication. He dismissed the accusations, suggesting that he saw Catherine as a potential love interest for Karina, and his actions were fueled by jealousy. Catherine passed on these messages to Karina's mom, Margie. On October 10th, Margie reported her daughter missing. 3 days later, a team focused on animal welfare set traps for feral cats behind the Homeland grocery store. What they stumbled upon were 2 mysterious bags emanating a disgusting smell. Swiftly, they informed the police, who appeared on the scene. Upon delving into the bags, a horrifying scene unfolded. The dismembered body of 19-year-old Carina Saunders. Each body part is meticulously cut, wrapped in plastic, and stored separately. The head and neck are found in the smaller laundry bag, while the remaining parts are concealed in the larger duffel bag. It didn't seem like the crime occurred on the spot. Instead, it appeared her remains were dumped here randomly. Investigators suggested the remains might have lingered for 3-4 days, evident from the advanced decomposition. The victim's identity remained a mystery, and the police faced days of work to identify the remains. Yet, from the very start, they had a strong suspicion. On October 14, 2011, the Bethany Police Department gathered with Karina's family, requesting dental records. Oddly, the family was denied the chance to see the body, as the authorities believed it wouldn't serve any purpose. On October 17th, cops urgently called Richard and Margie. The police confirmed the worst. Karina's remains were identified. The rumors circulating in town about her being dismembered turned out to be tragically true. Following this, police started an extensive search for the suspects in the case. The FBI stepped in, offering a helping hand to Bethany police in cracking the case wide open. Over the next few months, they delved into conversations with 80 different witnesses. Among them were those connected to Karina's world of addiction, but a select few stood out. Leading the list of potential culprits was Kenny Richards. His complicated relationship with Karina, which included drugs and sex trafficking, put him under the spotlight. Rumors even hinted at Kenny being Karina's pimp. His dominating and aggressive demeanor added fuel to the suspicions, especially when he turned out to be the only one to request time with her shortly before she mysteriously vanished. He shared with the cops that once he spent time with Karina, he left her at the Rockwell Avenue apartment complex and lost contact with her afterward. No investigator doubted him, ruling him out as a suspect entirely. The next suspect was Karina's culinary school friend, Cody Perez. Coincidentally, on the very day Karina was reported missing, October 10, 2011, Cody Perez made a sudden decision to disappear. He swiftly pawned his collection of knives at a Bethany, Oklahoma pawn shop and vanished from the area. There were whispers that he set on a hitchhiking journey, pointing his compass towards the southwest, with speculations ranging from Arizona to California. Due to his strange departure from the area, Perez became a person of interest to the police. They focused on him because of the many tattoos covering his body, pointing to a man Karina was seen with on security cameras. On October 21st, Perez reached out to Bethany police from Arizona, clarifying that he hadn't run away, but relocated due to a personal disagreement. Insisting it had nothing to do with Karina, he returned to Bethany to clear his name. Following this, investigations revealed his knives were free of any blood traces. Eventually, Perez was completely cleared as a suspect. The spotlight in this investigation turns to an address, 3500 Harvey Street. While it's currently an empty space, this spot used to be a hub for illegal activities. Drug dealings, sex work, and violence concealed within a house. The police had frequented this location due to numerous incidents in the years leading up to Karina's disappearance. Intriguingly, the very day Karina's remains were discovered, the house was demolished to the ground. The community, tired of enduring years of drugs and violence, had long pleaded for its destruction. Despite the demolition, there was no trace of anything linked to Karina in or around the vacant lot. In the next few weeks, autopsy results came. Carina Saunders' end was marked as a brutal incident, officially termed a homicide in the autopsy report. Her body was gruesomely dismembered, with some parts still missing. Investigators couldn't find her hands, feet, parts of her forearms, left breast, the clothes she wore, and other personal belongings. The police said they found weird stuff on Karina's right cheek and the back of her right shoulder, making them think she might have gone through some awful stuff before she died. Karina had a tattoo on her shoulder that said, "Queen Spade." The medical examiner noticed cut marks around it, hinting that someone tried to get rid of the tattoo. They even cut her hair to short. It's like the person was on a mission to hide who Karina really was. The pathologist also discovered some shocking details about Karina's final hours. Prior to her end, she had taken tramadol, a pain reliever requiring a prescription. The pills weren't legally accessible to her, indicating someone provided them, aligning with her past behavior. The exact amount she consumed remains uncertain due to her body's decomposition. However, with all this information, the police still had no real evidence pointing at someone. However, all this would change a couple of months later. In May 2012, a woman named Tia found herself at the Bel Air Motel in Oklahoma City, hanging around with her buddy Luis. As Luis disappeared into the bathroom, curiosity got the better of Tia, leading her to sneak a peek at his phone. What she stumbled upon in his videos was beyond shocking, grainy footage allegedly capturing the gruesome murder of Carina Saunders. Bethany Police Lieutenant J.R. Jenks described the video as extremely graphic, revealing the savage and extended brutality involved in Carina Saunders' murder. Barely a month later, on July 5, 2012, charges were laid against two individuals in connection to Carina's murder. Luis Ruiz, aged 37, and Jimmy Massey, aged 33, found themselves already behind bars for different offenses. Their extensive criminal histories marked them as key players in various drug and sex trafficking operations, stretching beyond the borders of Oklahoma. Furthermore, these guys had ties to various users and addicts, and one of them faced charges alongside the group, Francisco Gomez. However, he was eventually released, and all charges against him were dropped in Carina's murder case. Another key witness also stepped forward, Michelle. She recounted her gruesome experience of being abducted by Ruiz and Massey. Held against her will, she was coerced into watching the gruesome video of Carina's murder. Michelle managed to escape only by taking a daring leap through a window and seeking refuge with the police. She thought the video served as a sickening proof to other women that these men would stop at nothing to get their way. Their sinister plan involved exploiting kidnapped women as sex workers. Two fellow inmates who were in a cell with Jimmy Massey later told police crucial information, asserting that he told them about his involvement in the heinous crime. Their accounts matched earlier witness statements perfectly, even delving into the gruesome details of Massey and Ruiz plotting to dismember the young woman. For investigators, this breakthrough came almost a year after the discovery of Carina Saunders' remains. Finally, they had multiple witnesses offering damning statements about Jimmy Massey and Luis Ruiz. But the real challenge lay ahead, building a solid case with tangible evidence, if such evidence even existed. Although it all started to make sense, many started to doubt if police had any real evidence tying Massey and Ruiz to Carina's murder. As doubts crept in, it became clear that much of what investigators were sharing relied more on gossip than concrete proof. Digging deeper, it surfaced that some of the key witnesses had credibility issues, with the police banking on individuals with criminal backgrounds, making their testimonies less credible in a courtroom. Undeterred, investigators persisted, desperately searching for a crucial piece of evidence: a video. Their hunt spanned through phones, cameras, hard drives, SIM and SD cards, and various devices, all in pursuit of footage capturing Carina Saunders' murder. This footage held the power to solidify their case, turning rumors into hard facts backed by undeniable visuals. As investigators were looking for any sufficient clue, the key witness, Tia, altered her statement. Now she backtracked, claiming she didn't see the video but instead heard about it from a friend. At that moment, the prosecution lacked a solid case against Ruiz and Massey. While Massey still grappled with drug trafficking charges, he evaded any connection to Carina's case. By February 2013, the charges against Ruiz and Massey had been dropped. Simultaneously, the Bethany Police Department handed Carina's murder case over to the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigations. Interestingly, two detectives from Bethany, involved in Carina's case, were dismissed due to various charges. It became evident that Carina's case required a fresh perspective to make progress. Now, under the lead of OSBI, the case took a fresh turn, and a determined team of officials spearheaded the investigation. In 2016, they sweetened the deal, putting up a $10,000 reward for any information leading to the capture of Carina's killer. The investigators, eager for leads, decided to rebuild their suspect pool. Their focus sharpened on individuals who had last seen or been with Karina, reigniting interest in a previous suspect, Kenny Richards. Even though he had been cleared by the original investigators, the OSBI wasn't ready to let go of Richards just yet. Their curiosity led them to discover his loose connection to another homicide investigation in March 2012. This time, he reported the body of an exotic dancer from a club in Oklahoma City named Night Trips. Back in January 2013, police were tipped off that Richards had offed Karina and stashed her stuff on his property. They were also informed about a metal tank hiding the goods, under Richards' control from '95 to 2012, just a few months after Karina's demise. Surprisingly, the Bethany Police Department shrugged off these claims, and it wasn't until the OSBI took the reins that the tips resurfaced. In 2016, cops snatched his phone during the bust. This discovery hinted at Richards' deeper connection with Karina, something he'd been keeping under the radar. Also, a septic tank on the premises uncovered intriguing items: a woman's shirt, a jacket, and a pair of sandals tucked beneath layers of debris. While the search unfolded, investigators were looking for a potential game changer, a cell phone with a video that could shed light on Karina's end, maybe even her murder, stashed away in Richards' car. But no phone or vehicle was uncovered in this search. Following Richards' arrest, he granted DEA Special Agent Shan Spain consent to examine his phone, as it had been the tool for his drug-related activities. Within this search, Agent Spain stumbled upon a picture of Carina Saunders. However, no real evidence was found, tying Richards to Karina's death. In 2020, investigators contacted the public, sharing a sketch of someone they think was at the last place Karina was seen: the casino. This person isn't a suspect, just someone they want to talk to. They think he might know something about what went down that day. However, the suspect in the sketches wasn't found. While the detectives continue to search for any clues about the case, the question remains: what happened to Carina Saunders in 2011? And more importantly, who stands behind this gruesome crime? Please subscribe and like the video to help the channel. Thank you for watching.